January 26th of 2020, the day that Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna tragically passed away in a plane accident. This is a day that we are never going to forget. This is a day that for us as NBA fans is probably one of the worst days of our lives. We'll all remember the day where we were hit with the shocking news that Kobe Bryant has passed away, and it was even worse when we heard that his daughter Gianna was also in the plane accident. And in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look back at this because today is January 26th of 2021. Kobe Bryant and his daughter passed away exactly 1 year ago today, and I'm going to be taking a look back at it and just how shocking the day was as a whole, and taking a look back at Kobe Bryant's legacy and just taking a moment to really appreciate Kobe and really what he's truly done for this world. So let's flash back to exactly 1 year ago today, on January 26, 2020. For me, it was around 1:30 when I heard about the news that Kobe Bryant had passed away, and I think I speak for everyone when I say that my initial reaction was just to completely deny this. I didn't believe it at all. I didn't think it was true, and we all know that you don't trust everything that you see on the internet, especially when TMZ was the first one that reported that Kobe had gone. But it was around 1:30, as I mentioned, that I found out about this news, and I remember going outside to shovel some snow and really taking it in if Kobe Bryant had really died. And when it hit me hard was when I tuned into the Raptors game at around 2:30, and everyone was just really down, not thinking about basketball and thinking about Kobe. But when it really hit hard was when that game tipped off and Fred VanVleet dribbles the ball up the court, and he just starts dribbling. He's just standing there. And eventually it hits you that he's dribbling out the clock to show a tribute to the 24-second shot clock for Kobe's number 24. And that is really when it hit a lot of NBA fans that Kobe Bryant had truly died. Everyone around the world, and especially us as NBA fans who truly knew who Kobe Bryant was, not only as a player, but also as a person, was just completely in shock. And as the day went on, well, we all know that when we hear about someone's death, the first stage is denial, the second stage is just complete and utter shock, and then for me, as the day went on, and I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say this, it began to sink in more and more that Kobe was gone, and as it sank in more and more, I became more and more sad. I remember explaining to one of my friends what they were doing in the Raptors versus Spurs game, where they dribbled out the clock to show a tribute for Kobe, and as I was explaining it, I began to tear up. Like, that's really when it sank in as the day went on, that Kobe was gone, and as NBA fans especially, we just became more and more sad and had to accept that, and it was just one of the most sad days ever. Because Kobe Bryant was gone. We were just going through so many different emotions and we couldn't focus on anything except this. Like I said, there was the denial stage, the shock phase, the sadness phase, and it was just a tornado of emotions that was really hitting us NBA fans especially. And for me, the worst part of it was when I heard that Gianna Bryant was in the crash. That was just absolutely heartbreaking, and really the part that makes it the worst. Kobe Bryant had already lived the best years of his life. He had a 20-year career in the NBA. We're remembering him as one of the best basketball players of all time. But Gianna Bryant was 13 years old, had so much potential as a basketball player and as just an amazing human being, and she has her entire life ahead of her completely cut short because of a tragic accident. For me, that was the worst part. If Kobe Bryant was in the crash alone, it would still be an incredibly emotional day for us as NBA fans, but the fact that Gianna was in it too is the most heartbreaking part. As the day went on in the NBA, we began to see a few games canceled, and the games that weren't canceled, we saw players just having their minds completely somewhere different than basketball, and I specifically remember players like Austin Rivers, Trae Young, Devin Booker, Tyson Chandler, and many more around the NBA being overcome with emotion before their game started. And I specifically remember some coaches like Doc Rivers, Greg Popovich, and even Tim Duncan, completely in tears before their games and after in press conferences. The most heartbreaking part for me was when I saw the video of LeBron James in the airport, and he was just completely overcome with emotion. LeBron and Kobe were very tight friends, and you remember how much as fans we were so distraught and so sad. Just imagine how sad someone like LeBron is, who is so close with Kobe. I can't even imagine it, and overall it was just one of the saddest days ever. Something I'll never forget about this too is a few days after January 26th of 2020, when Kobe and Gianna passed away, the Lakers played their first game back since the tragedy. They're facing the Portland Trail Blazers, and I'll never forget the speech that LeBron James delivered at center court before that game started. It was the exact same place that Kobe Bryant made the speech in 2016 after his last game in the NBA with the Lakers, and LeBron had an entire speech prepared and completely threw it away so he could speak from the heart, speak to the Laker fans, and really just completely celebrate the life of Kobe Bryant and what he did in not only his 20-year career in the NBA, but in his really amazing 42-year life. And the Lakers had something to play for as the season went on because they wanted to win this championship for Kobe, and they did. When they entered the NBA bubble, they had some extra motivation than every other team in the league because they wanted to do what Kobe would do and go out there and win the championship with extra motivation. I think in the NBA Finals that year, all of us became temporary Laker fans just for a little bit because we really wanted to see them do it for Kobe, and they did. So before I end off this video, I want to give a big appreciation to Kobe Bryant and really just go over everything he means to me and everything he means to NBA fans and NBA players and really the NBA community. We know how amazing he was on the court. He gave everything to the Laker fans. Not only did he stay there for his entire 20-year career, but he was a 5-time NBA champion, an MVP of the league, an 18-time All-Star, one of the most entertaining players to watch, one of the best scorers that we've ever seen, and was truly incredible on the court, and for me, goes down as a top 5 player of all time, and was just truly amazing on the court. Off the court, he was one of the best dads that we've ever seen. He was so loving and caring towards his daughters and really passed on a lot of his greatness to them, and he's going to be missed by his family and friends and us NBA fans forever. The thing that sticks out the most about Kobe Bryant is his mentality and how he made the Mamba mentality. He is the hardest working basketball player that we have ever seen and probably one of the hardest working human beings on this earth that we have literally ever seen. The stories about this guy's dedication and what he would put in to the game of basketball was incredible. He's influenced so many young kids around the world and so many players that are in the NBA today and impacted the game so much. I can't help but look at a guy like Jason Tatum and see Kobe in him, and just think about how much a guy like Jason Tatum's life and career would be different if it wasn't for Kobe. Kobe had such a huge impact on young kids around the world, and he will never be forgotten. To everyone watching this video, take this the January 26th of 2021 to remember Kobe Bryant.